Mick Polton in West Mids. I use worms to compost, not heat. I've got a mate who uses heat and he has no worms. It's too hot for them. Kitchen scraps. I keep out citrus, onions, oranges, lemons. That's common sense to me. Plus no cooked food. The smaller the ingredient, the quicker the breakdown process. If there's not a lot, then I cut it up with scissors. If there is a lot, then I chop it up with edge shears in a bucket. The best carbon you can put in is paper. I've tried a lot. Nothing glossy, nothing coloured. Old paperback books are perfect. Smell them, they tell you. Compost me. Also in the background are egg boxes. Nothing coloured with them as well. So that lot go into my bowl. The middle bag at the back, washed, dried, microwaved, crushed eggshells. Then there's blended layers chicken pellets and alfalfa pellets. Bag on the right is porridge oats from the middle, the chippen. Fistful of them in each. Extra ingredients under the bench in the greenhouse. All natural, so they'll break down, working with nature. A handful of all these go into the bag as well. First one is rabbit muck, rabbit bedding. The bedding is straw, so another good natural product. Spent peat, this is from grow bags from last year, plus my gradiola cormless that I've grown. I emptied them into a bag, so that's my spent peat. This is a basalt volcanic rock dust. This is full of minerals and trace elements from the centre of the earth. This is slow release, beautiful stuff. Goat muck, this is dried and rubbed out by hand, another good manure. You get your original worms for the manure you put in. Leaf mould, this is another good one, shredded and rubbed out by hand, another freebie from our mate up top. Topsoil, the best topsoil I can get is molehills. I'll riddle it for you as well, but superb stuff. One pinch, there's loads of goodies. Wood chip with added topsoil to add breakdown while it's bagged up. I've got 3 different bags of wood chips, perfect. Spent tops, this is from a brewery. They also dish out spent malt, some of them do, but that's another excellent one. Beautiful stuff, another natural one obviously. Seaweed, this is dried, chopped up in a bucket and then shredded. Love it. Anything that's seaweed based. Alpaca muck, this one can be used straight away. There's no strength in it, it ain't going to burn no roots, nothing. Top dressing as a mulch as well, beautiful stuff. Osmuck manure, another one that's dried out and rubbed out by hand. That's another good one. The more manures you can get, the better. There's something in one manure that isn't in another manure. So get as many as different ones as you can get in. There was spent tea, spent coffee grounds, hamster muck, wood burner ash. This is a good one. Obviously wood that ain't been treated. And sand. You can borrow this from the seaside, even grit. I borrowed a few of them as well. So that lot go into a bin. The only ones I ain't got is spent mushroom compost, worm cast, biochar. Used to get that from my mate Rowley. So I mix all that lot up, and that's what it looks like. Superb. Fistful of everything going into the bowl. This will help the worms out once it goes in there. I've also got a water. So there's a bottle of greenhouse temperature water. If it's too cold, then it'd be a plus I had a tea bag of muck in it. Right, compost bin. I've got a 330 litre Blackwall compost bin lined with black plastic to absorb the heat, the sun when it's out. Take the lid off, that's placed upside down on the floor. Top one is a bath towel, porous. I'll lift that one off. There are 3 layers. So I'll lift that up, shake that worms onto the next one, which is an old carpet. But extra worms give me a quicker breakdown of my ingredients. So I'm shook onto the next one. That's put onto me top of my lid, and then I do the same with all the other carpets. But in between those 3 layers, because there's warmth and moisture, there's my extra worms. that give me extra worms for the end product. So the last one I'm taking off, I'm keeping the worms folded in there until I've put my chopped ingredients, which I'll just mix into that brew. So there's my worms in that top layer there. Then we'll wait till I've finished. Right, get my bowl up and empty that into it. I should have got a close-up of these as well, my worms on top. Don't forget we've had a -4 last night. And all it's got is that protection around it. Beautiful stuff. So I'm placing that inside. Don't forget this is dry because I've got no garden compost, so that will now have to get levelled out because there's no moisture in it at all. That's why I needed me water in at the end. So we level that out. Perfect. If it stays dry, the worms are going to clear off, just go deeper looking for moisture. So if you keep it nice and moist, this is why they go through everything. So my extra worms, which will go on top, I mean they'll come through underneath anyway, because it's grub for them. But them are emptied into there. You can also make out the springtails which are in there. If you can zoom in or not, I don't know. But that's one big dollop of worms. So I'll then just spread them around evenly. So that can all get first bit of top layer goes back on. Obviously these are made to measure. But anything that's porous where the rain will go through, that's an old carpet as well. You can use a SN sacking, but a bath towel is perfect because you can cut it to shape and it lasts about 3 months. Right, that gets a good soaking. Because they are porous, it goes straight through and waters what you've just done. You can't over water because you've got the drainage. But that lot is in between them layers, it's an ideal breeding ground for the worms. Right, the lid back on. Air will get in through the doors on the front, plus through the rim of the lid. You don't need to turn it. You only turn if you're using heat. Worms turn this. Just work with nature. That's why our mate invented the worm. Use them. I ain't dug for 40 odd years. Plus I'm all raised beds, and I don't dig them, the worms do. Digging to kill the soil food web. I got a book on Amazon, only 12 quid to help people out. Plus I talk all over the UK on several subjects. 50 quid a talk plus fuel if interested. Hope you've enjoyed it and learned something from my trials. Until next time, ta-ra a bit.